All right, what's up, bandits? Welcome to my channel and to this video. I've got my Toyota Sienna here. I was driving it the other day, and the tire pressure, the low tire, that little low, it's like a little picture of your tire. The light came on the dashboard, and it was flickering for like 60 seconds, and then just decided to stay solid, and I can't figure out how to turn it off or what is going on. So in this video, we're going to be exploring troubleshooting from start to finish to see if I can save money. And then at the end of the video, stick around because I'm going to give you some of my reflections, and hopefully you can learn a thing or two and also save money if you're encountering a similar problem. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, let me show you what's going on here. I've got a dashboard light that will not shut off. And it's blinking. Check this out. It's the tire inflation light. So it blinks for a little bit and then it turns solid. So I'm gonna be investigating that in this video. Figure out what the heck is going on. I was driving it last night. Daughter's birthday party. Had a van full of girls. 9-year-old, 10-year-old girls. We had Taylor Swift playing. It was pretty wild, but I noticed this thing was on. And weirdly, I had actually inflated the tires before to 35 before I even got in the vehicle. So I knew that they were good. I mean, it says 35 PSI per the specs of the vehicle. And all four of them are inflated, ready to go. So what is going on with this light? I don't get it. See, now it's solid. Stop blinking. So the first thing we should do is go to the instruction manual. Of course, I'm not a mechanic at all, so I rely on that instruction manual and blogs and Reddit and all that good stuff. So when you open up the instruction manual, it basically says, okay, you've got natural causes or a flat tire, so readjust or put more air into it. If it still happens and it's blinking for 1 minute, there's a malfunction, and it refers me to another page. Page 542 says, hey, if it's still happening, even if with your ignition on, have it checked out by a Toyota dealer. I learned long ago to get myself one of these. This is a code reader, and it's universal. It works in both of our vehicles. And we're gonna try to figure out what is going on with the code here. So to find that, it's pretty easy. Just make sure it's lined up. And there is the input right there. Just plug that in. Make sure it's snug. And then this thing turns on and we can turn the ignition on. It is. And any key to continue. Zoom in for you. Codes found. Okay, let's do engine, enter. Read codes. Stored codes. No codes, okay. Pending codes. All right, so that's not reading anything. So we're gonna unplug that and proceed to step 2, which is to reset the tire pressure monitoring system. We're gonna turn our ignition on. So if you come under here, and I'm no mechanic, like I said, take all this with a grain of salt. We're gonna see right here, there's a tire pressure reset button. It's just right in front of the gas pedal. We're gonna press and hold that for like a few seconds, and actually we're gonna wait for that to stop blinking. Okay, so you can see that's stopped blinking, so got my finger on the button right there. We're gonna press it and hold it until that light blinks. The same light right here blinks 3 times. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's not blinking. Still got my finger held on the button. Okay, well that didn't work. One thing I looked up online, it seemed like people were doing the reset button with the ignition on, so we're gonna start it up, and we're gonna try to hold that reset button for 3 seconds with the engine actually running. Here we go, 1, 2, 3. It's already blinking, so how can it blink 3 times if it's already blinking? So let me go ahead and wait for 60 seconds for it to turn solid. All right, it has turned solid. So we'll try to hold this again. Ready, 1, 2, 3. And it's not doing anything, so that really did not work. So I have not inflated the tires since the light came on. Remember I said I inflated them before I noticed the light came on. So let's go ahead and just go around to each tire and make sure, we'll put some air in there, make sure it's exactly at 35, and see if there's something going on inside there that just needs to be cleared from the system. All right, they're all exactly at 35. So hopefully by doing that, we maybe cleared some type of issue with the sensor. I think another reason why that comes on is if you actually have, tire pressure loss, if you've got a flat tire. So you want to visually inspect your tires to make sure they're not flat or that you're not rapidly losing air in any of your tires. So do a visual too. It might be pretty obvious. In my case, it's not. I filled them up last night, and they're more or less the same tire pressure as they were before. It's the morning this morning, so we lost maybe a couple PSI, but they're now at 35. All right, it's break time. Welcome to my channel. Click that subscribe button, like this video if it's helping you out, and share this with somebody that you know. Don't forget to leave a comment down below, and check the links in the description. We're also going to visually inspect the stems, because I think if there's some type of problem with the stems physically, then that could trigger the warning light from what I read as well. So maybe visually inspect each one of your stems for damage. Stems are good. All right, I'm busting out the big guns here. We're going to be resetting the electrical system in here using a 10mm socket to disconnect the negative battery terminal. We'll let it disconnect just let it sit disconnected for like, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. And hopefully that will reset. Get something to put between there. There we go. Just so that doesn't come in contact with anything. We'll let that sit and see if that kind of automatically turns things off and resets that light. All right, let's give this a try. Okay, let's try this. That's okay. We might have that same, it's got the same issue, but we may need to give it some time to reset. So we might need to go out and drive it a little bit. So let's do that. All right, we're on the road and you can see it's still on, although we just got started here. All right, it's been about 20 minutes. Got about 9 miles and it's still on, you can see. So that tells me it's a problem likely with the sensor or the monitoring system malfunction of some type, so I got to bring it into the pros unless I want to screw around with taking the wheels off in my garage, which I do not want to do. Here we are at Discount Tire Direct. Let's see what they can do for me. They've got this sweet scanner tool. They can tell me exactly which sensors are good and which ones need replaced. All right, just got back from Discount Tire. Let's start this thing up and see if they fix the problem for me. Yeah, baby, we are fixed. All right, so sadly we didn't DIY solve this ourselves and save money. I kind of took it on the chin, in other words, but c'est la vie sometimes. But we did learn some important lessons, I think. It confirmed that was the problem. So if your light is flashing 60 seconds and then staying solid, it is a sensor, likely a sensor malfunction issue. So in this case, it was definitely 2 tires that were that scanned low. So what can you learn from this? You might want to call around first if you're experiencing similar symptoms. Call around different mechanics and ask what they charge per wheel to get this fixed. It was $62 a wheel, but there was no labor, they said. That was just kind of the cost. So I spent $131 for 2 tires. This is not a problem you should ignore. Apparently you can ignore it if you're like super hyper vigilant about manually checking the air pressure, but essentially your car, it's part of the system of your car, and it would have no way of monitoring or informing you if tire pressure was low, and that can be incredibly dangerous. So I don't recommend continuing to drive on it and ignoring the problem just to save some money. Or you could install something like this third party to monitor your tire pressure. Pretty expensive, more expensive than I thought it was going to be. You could do it yourself. You can look at YouTube videos, but you gotta have a pretty strong skill set and have some specialized tools. And for me, if it was my spare car, I think I would just go for it. But this is our minivan, our kids are in it. So I'd have to take it in anyway before I felt good about driving it around after I kind of tried to fix it myself. Obviously that depends on your skill set, but you can investigate buying a tire pressure monitoring system scanner. Apparently they're very expensive. I'll try to find some and put links down below. I'm gonna try to pick one up too, because that scanner thing was pretty neat. The guy just kind of put it up against the tire and it told him the battery was either dead, low, or good. So that'd be kind of cool to have at home so you can confirm the system or the malfunction yourself if that's what's going on. Because unfortunately my code reader didn't generate any code stored in the system. So my little tool that I have in my garage was not helpful in this particular situation. If you do decide to get this professionally done, ask for a discount. If you don't ask, the answer is no. Also, if you have any other work that needs to be done on your vehicle, you might ask for a discount if you have bulk work done. Hey, if I'm getting brakes done, can you give me a 20% discount? Be prepared for them to say, because you don't know if it's 1 tire or 4 tires that have the sensor. So be prepared for either 1 or 4. In my case, it was 2. 1 was low, 1 was dead, the other 2 were good. I decided to just have the 2 replaced because over time, the other 2 will quickly follow, but that could be tomorrow or it could be in another year. So, if I get in an accident, I have to total the vehicle's totaled, or if we decide to sell this thing in the next year for some reason, it's just a little extra money saved. So in other words, don't fix it if it's not broken. That's what I was thinking. So I just had them to do 2 of the tires instead of all 4, and that obviously saved me half the money. This vehicle's almost 9 years old, and so they're the original ones on there. So they only last between 5 and 10 years, so they're gonna start to fail. So it's normal. It's part of car maintenance, unfortunately. You do want to ask about the warranty. I think whoever you decide to go with. In this particular case, I went through Tire Discount Direct. I love them. I bought my tires through them, and they also did a free tire rotation. So I just killed 2 birds with 1 stone and said, fix this and then rotate the tires as well. But ask about the warranty. These came with a 6-year warranty or something like that. So I don't have to worry about it if they decide to, poop out on me later. And I'll leave you with this one last tip that I learned. If you're doing tire rotation, if you're not doing a tire rotation, it should be clear when they go out and scan which sensors are bad. It's the back left and the front right or whatever. But if you ask for a tire rotation as well, which is what I did, you need to ask, well, where are the bad sensor, or where are the new sensors? Where did you install them after the tire rotation? So that you can kind of have your eye on that. And, you know, write that down so you don't forget, because in a year or tomorrow, if they break again, or if the dashboard light comes on, then I know, okay, it's going to be these 2 tires that are bad as opposed to the other 2. So that's something for you to just pay attention to. Anyway, you know, this was quite a journey. Again, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Unfortunately, I had to pay some money. I couldn't do the full job myself, but like I said, I learned quite a bit, and hopefully this video helps you as well. So stay sneaky. Are you okay? Look, come over here.